The Chicago Bears have officially made their hire for their next offensive coordinator in hiring Shane Waldron. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the news for today. And so, listen, I did not expect to be recording this video this early, but when news drops, we drop here at Chicago Bears Central. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, and the Bears now have officially hired Shane Waldron as their offensive coordinator. This is a guy who was at the top of many people's list, one of the most experienced coaches, but still having a lot of youth, only 44 years old. He spent the last 3 years being the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, and he's worked under Pete Carroll, and he still comes from that coaching tree, that Sean McVay coaching tree, which the Bears have really focused on almost exclusively in their offensive coordinator search. So the Bears, who interviewed 9 candidates all throughout last week, have finally made their decision now on Shane Waldron being their next offensive coordinator. Now, what does this mean for the Bears having the number one overall pick? That's going to remain to be seen. And I know there's going to be a lot of speculation on what that means for any quarterback who's going to be starting for the Chicago Bears next season, whether it be Justin Fields, whether it be Caleb Williams, or any other quarterback coming out in the draft next year. I think we've kind of focused on just those two, and it could be more than that. So, hey, this was the guy. This was the get for a lot of people. And so he could be great for the Bears offense overall. And like I've been saying with much of this offensive coordinator search, it's not just about Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, right? And like I said, and we'll have an episode later on today. We'll get back to nightly episodes as well, other than the daily, on talking about some of the other quarterbacks upcoming in this draft. But this is a big get for the Chicago Bears. It's a big get for the Chicago Bears. And this was coming after the Bears tried to interview Kellen Moore for their offensive coordinator position yesterday, and the Chargers blocked them from being able to do that, which is fine. The Bears now get the guy that they wanted in Shane Waldron. Again, he's been there. He's expected now to be the Chicago Bears offensive coordinator, and he brings the type of offense that the Bears have been focused on. We know that the Bears are really trying to transform, right? They're trying to go from a team that was very limited in play calling, and Shane Waldron brings in a lot of what Luke Getsy was missing. They are getting one of the best offensive coordinators out there on the market. Now, do not get me wrong. Does he have his limitations? Absolutely does. He absolutely has his limitations, but out of the 9 guys that the Bears interviewed, the 9 coaches that the Bears interviewed last week, in Clint Kubiak, Liam Cohen, Greg Olsen, Greg Roman, Thomas Brown, Marcus Brady, Zach Robinson, Cliff Kingsbury, and Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron and Zach Robinson were at the top of a lot of people's lists amongst everybody else, right? And so it's good that the Bears did their search. It's good that the Bears made this decision early, even before the playoffs are over, right? Because this now sets the groundwork of what they can do. And, for a lot of people worried about what it's going to be like learning yet another offense for Justin Fields or anybody in that case, right? The team overall, getting this hire done this early in this process, and now informs what you're going to do, who you're going to target on the offense overall, right? How you want to change that. Start adapting that playbook. Start getting that language and terminology down. Is going to be big things for this team as well. So, hey, when it comes down to it, this is a really big get for the Chicago Bears, and could be one of those, the first step. Well, not the first step. Players are going to have already been there, right? But it could be a big step in the Chicago Bears really transforming what their offense has looked like. And so, and Shane Waldron brings a lot of experience when you look at it. He's been coaching now since he was with the New England Patriots in 2022. He's bringing 22 years of coaching experience at still only being 44 years old. I would not be surprised at all. This is speculative piece on this. Would not be surprised at all if he ends up getting the title of associate head coach as well in this. Do not overlook that ability as well either. Now, what does that mean for the long term of things? Listen, here's the thing that I have always kind of said in the back of my mind with this offensive coordinator search. Not to say that this is going to be for sure, right? But this is going to, when you bring in an offensive coordinator with the experience of Shane Waldron, you best believe that you are maybe considering the fact that if you do have to move on from Matt Eberflus, You get this year of really looking at Shane Waldron, and he may be able to be groomed to be your next head coach. And to see if that goes away, you're getting him in your system. He's going to establish those relationships with those players. Then now the question remains on, how is Shane Waldron going to fill out the rest of his staff? Are any of the other coaches that the Bears interviewed in this search going to end up on the staff of Shane Waldron? Keep in mind, a lot of these guys were all on the Rams at the same time, so they have relationships with each other. The Bears now kind of know that a lot of these guys come from the same coaching tree as well, so that terminology, that familiarity with what the system is going to be there as well. So this is something to look out for going forward in the next couple of days, is as they finish filling out this staff, how many other of these coaches that were interviewed end up being on the staff of the Chicago Bears. That was something that I speculated earlier last week of just, could the Bears be also kind of looking at these guys for some other positions, depending on who they go with the offensive coordinator. So a lot of speculation to be done on this. We'll talk about it later on in the full daily episode today. This is not your daily episode. This is just an emergency episode. So we'll be back with that full episode, breaking this down and many other things a little bit later today. Make sure you guys are following the channel at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end everything on, go Chi-Town up, Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.